Hey everyone, welcome back. Today is the day for the Q&A video. Very excited about this. I had some pretty interesting questions and I'm going to get right into it. Let's get her done. So the first question is from Bobby, and she wanted to know why and when did my family move to Niagara Falls? Far as I know, this is where I was born and raised. I don't know when my father or mother came to the falls. As far as I know, they were born and raised in Niagara Falls as well, as far back as I can remember. I do know that my great-grandmothers and my great-grandfathers came over from Poland and Italy. Okay, Cynthia, is my daughter planning a wedding? She is indeed. They have a date of September 4th of 2020. And Kathy asked, what was my favorite sale? Well, I would have to say like my most surprising sale was the Flow Blue plate that I got for, it was either a quarter or 50 cents. And I ended up selling it for $75. I was like, oh my God. Oh, wait a minute though. Many years back, I had no YouTube channel, no eBay store, nothing like that. But every now and again, I would sell something on eBay. So my grandmother had this antique, it was called a fernery. And it was this long rectangular porcelain thing for plants. And it was made by an artist named T.H. Deck. He was from France. And the handles on it were like gargoyle heads. And it was all hand painted with gorgeous butterflies and flowers. It was absolutely amazing. And ever since I was a little girl, I would just sit and stare at it because of the colors and the butterflies and the flowers. And I always told my grandmother how much I loved it. So when she passed away, it was given to me. So I did some research and come to find out this particular person that made it, his things sold for a great deal of money. So just for the heck of it, I listed it on eBay for $2,500. Never in a million years did I think it was going to sell, right? But I just had to try it. Well, guess what? It sold. I almost had a heart attack. And then I was mad that it sold because I really didn't want to get rid of it. It was my grandmother's. I don't even know why I did it, but I did it. $2,500. But you know what? My kids were young then, and they probably eventually would have broke it. So it's probably better off that I did sell it. So yes, that was the most I've ever sold something for. Okay, make a long story short. Anyways, okay, Mimi, what program do I use to edit my videos? I use iMovie on my iPhone. That's it. And I don't do much editing. I just throw it out there like it is. I'm not trying to get like an Academy Award or, you know, anything like that. So, Carol H., what is my most favorite find ever? Everything I find is my favorite. That's why I need another house. Really, anything that's vintage is favorite to me. I love anything vintage. I would have to say, though, probably the aluminum Christmas tree that I found in the garbage. Oh, yes. Yes, I almost had detached retina and broke my neck all at the same time when I saw it out of the corner of my eye sticking out of the garbage driving down the street. Yep, that would be it. The aluminum Christmas tree. Kathy L. When I was in high school, what did I want to be? I wanted to be out of high school. I was so bad in high school. Like, I was skipping school, you know, hanging out at the game room down the street. My father came in and yanked me out one day. Yeah, I wanted to be out of high school. I had no thoughts of what I wanted to be whatsoever. But I did graduate in January instead of June because I straightened my act up. Mary Ann W. wants to know if I could go to any state, what state would I want to go to? Any state in the United States. You know what? I've always wanted to see Maine. I've always wanted to see Maine. So I would have to say it would be Maine. Mary Kay wants to know, what is the pendant that I always wear? Oh, here it is. Let me see if I could show you guys. I'm sure it's not going to show up. It is actually Mother Mary and baby Jesus. My mother and father years ago had bought me this beautiful pendant and it broke. So my mom had some pendants that my father had bought her. So she told me to pick one out, and this is the one that I picked. Seven Bells wants to know, will I be collecting vintage jewelry? Well, I did start a little collection, and it's mostly the old rhinestone jewelry that I mostly collect. And I'm not really collecting it per se for myself. I'm getting it because eventually I'm going to sell it. But I do really love the vintage rhinestone jewelry. My friend Lita wants to know, do I ever come to Niagara Falls, Canada? Not very often. My sister-in-law is from Canada. But I don't really go over there very often. I don't know. I don't drive on the thruway or anything, even though it's a hop, skip, and a jump. And then you got the lines on the bridge, and, you know, it's just like, nah. No offense. No offense. Let's see. Laura wants to know, how long have I been doing my job? Well, like 15 years. I would have to say 15 years. Zeta, would I ever do a live chat? I would love to do a live chat, and I am planning on trying to do one. I'm a little bit intimidated by it because I've heard so many horror stories about, you know, it's not streaming, it's buffering, it's going in and out. So I'm a little bit afraid, but one of these nights I will get up the courage and I will absolutely try a live video. It'll be sometime soon though. Joanne wants to know, what made me start my channel? My daughter. I used to sit and listen to her talking to herself in the bedroom when she was really talking to, you know, everybody out there in YouTube land. And I thought, you know what? I could do a channel. And I kept telling her, I think I might start a channel, a thrifting channel. She goes, well, you should. And I said, well, I'm gonna, you know, and I hemmed and I hawed about it for months. And then all of a sudden, one day I just picked up the camera and did my very first intro video. And that was it. So it was a year ago this past June that I started my channel. Jan wants to know, what do I do at the nursing home? I'm an activities supervisor. We do all the fun stuff and paperwork. And she wants to know, what are my children's ages and what do they do? Well, my daughter is 26. My son's 23. My son is a manager at an automotive parts store. My daughter, her husband is American and he owns a smoke shop. And she works there full-time, and she also works part-time at, guess where? The Disney store. And she also wants to know, what was my childhood like growing up? I had an absolutely fantastic childhood. I have such fond memories of my childhood. I grew up in an apartment building on the second floor, about 3 blocks away from where my grandmother lived, and all my friends lived down the street from my grandmother. So on Fridays and Saturdays, my mom was a hairdresser, and she had a beauty shop in my grandmother's basement. So on Saturdays, I would go to my grandma's with my mom so that I could spend the day hanging out with my friends, and we would be out from 9 o'clock in the morning until the street lights came on. We did everything. We were out all winter, sledding, ice skating, just playing in the snow. And then in the summertime, we were out playing hopscotch, tag, climbing trees. I mean, everything. I had an absolutely awesome, awesome childhood. My dad worked 2-3 jobs. Yeah, I didn't ever want for anything. Let's see. Dawn wants to know, what was the item that brought me the largest profit reselling? I would have to say so far it was the Flow Blue plate. Angie D wants to know, what is my job and how long have I been doing it? And as I said, I work in activities and I've been doing it for 15 years. Henrietta and Bounce Back wanted to know, when was the first time I thrifted and why? I don't actually remember the first time I thrifted. Well, basically, I thrifted for Halloween stuff to dress up for Halloween way back in the day. But then, more recent, I actually started thrifting on a regular basis when I quit smoking. I gained 30 pounds. I gained 10 pounds before I quit smoking. Then I gained another 20 after I quit smoking. And I didn't want to buy brand new clothes because I was planning on losing the weight. So I just started shopping at the Salvation Army and the Goodwill. And then I started shopping for other things. And then it was history. I was addicted. Lene wanted to know, am I a single parent and was I ever married? I am a single parent. I have been married. I became a single parent when my son was 4 and my daughter was 7. Juanita wants to know, do I work in a nursing home? Yes, I do. Amy would like to know, okay, I'm a little confused at what I wrote. Let me get back to that one. Catitude. How do I determine it's time to cancel a listing and donate the item? Do I ever get burned out with working, thrifting, videos, resale, and everyday life? Normally, I don't cancel a listing. Most of my listings are good until sold. I haven't really, unless I ended up doing something else with the item, then I would just end the listing. Do I ever get burned out? Yes. I'm not getting any younger. I'm 56. So yeah, and I actually, it's hard for me to stay awake past 7, 8 o'clock anymore. So yes, I do get burned out. Vigormina, do I think doing vlogs and selling on eBay is an easy thing? Absolutely not. Vlogs are not really difficult, but being a reseller, yes, it is. It's not easy because you figure you have to go out and buy the stuff. Then you have to bring it home. You have to clean it. Then you have to take pictures. Then you have to measure the items. You have to weigh the items. You have to list the items. And then finally, you have to package the items. So there is a lot of work involved. You know, it's not easy by any means. Misty wants to know, what would be the most ultimate thrift find of my dreams? I would say probably a piece of Pyrex that's worth like thousands of dollars. And believe it or not, a friend of mine, his friend, found this piece of Pyrex that I guess is very rare, and he did sell it for $3,000. I was like, OMG. So yeah, I guess probably something on that order. Alex at Chapter 2 Vintage Company says, what is the most favorite type of video to film? And do I like selling items that are breakable? I think my favorite videos to film are definitely thrift hauls. I'm getting a little better with the shop with me videos. I feel funny being out in public, like talking to myself, you know, people think I'm talking to myself. So I had to get used to doing that. But I definitely would have to say thrift hauls. Selling breakable items, I've learned how to package pretty well, and actually got some tips from Alex. So I mean, the only thing I don't like about shipping breakables is all the supplies that you have to use, the bubble wrap and the packing peanuts. So I mean, it's not my favorite thing, you know, but mostly everything I sell is breakable. So I don't do clothes. I don't want to know nothing about clothes or anything like that. So Larry wants to know, how did I get interested in thrifting and vintage items? Well, I guess thrifting goes way back when I was little, because my mom and grandma used to go to estate sales and yard sales and stuff like that, and they would drag me along with them. And so I guess it goes way back to then, because I used to love looking at all that stuff and the antiques. And so yeah, back when I was little. And vintage items, I just recently have found a love for vintage. Since right before I started my channel, I just fell in love with vintage stuff. So Marie wants to know, how does cold winter affect my life, shopping, and thrifting? I hate cold weather. It is a well-known fact. I don't like to go out in the wintertime because my body just does not tolerate the cold. And of course, I don't like driving in it because it can be dangerous. So I don't go out as often. So that affects my shopping because I can't shop. So I try to just go to places that are very close by. And I try to get everything done in one fell swoop so I don't have to go back and forth in and out several times a week. So it definitely does affect what I do. Ruby wants to know, am I coming back to California? I absolutely am. I'm hoping to be back again in this coming April, hopefully. Dar wants to know, Dar still, will we ever see my boyfriend or my son? My son did make a couple of debuts in my video, but he's usually never here when I'm filming. And if he is, he just sneaks in and out because he hears me talking. So, my boyfriend, you will not see, not in a video, because we are no longer together. We split up. I can show you a picture. I have, in case, I'm sure many of you do not know, the boyfriend that I had been with for the last 10, 11 years was actually my high school sweetheart. I dated him from the age of 15 to 17 and a half. And then we split up because he cheated on me. So we split up, we went our separate ways, and a lot of things happened with him throughout the years. And then we ended up getting back together 30 years later. So this is a picture of him and I at my high school class day dinner. I was 17 years old. So there we are. And here's a picture of us at his niece's wedding. This was like 11 years ago when we first got back together. So, unfortunately, things happen and we split up. So we're no longer together, and right now we're not even talking, and I don't even know why. He just stopped, calling. So he's probably very hurt, and it is what it is, but things happen. Okay, she also wants to know, what does my family think of my thrifting and selling? My mom likes to go thrifting with me, so she's a thrifter too. She loves to go to estate sales and yard sales and things like that. So does my Aunt Dana. Y'all saw her in my videos. My daughter goes thrifting. My son loves when I go thrifting and bring him stuff. So yeah, they're all cool about it, and they're real happy when I'm making extra money and I don't have to struggle. So, and when will I do another tutorial or upcycle an item? I am going to have some craft videos coming up. Craft videos are actually the one video that I really hate filming. It's difficult to film a craft video for me because I really don't have the right camera and setup and all that stuff. So it's a little bit difficult, but I do get her done. So, yes, I will have some fall, some Halloween, and some Christmas crafts coming very shortly, like very, very shortly. Okay, NKOTB82 wanted to know, how did I get started and realize I was a serious collector, and what was my holy grail of my collection? I have to say, I'm not like a serious collector. There's certain things that I like and I will buy. And you all know that I like milk glass, which I don't really buy much anymore because I don't have the room to display it. I love my vintage Christmas. Absolutely. I would have to say the Holy Grail was my aluminum Christmas tree, without a doubt, because I wanted one and I wasn't paying $200 and $300 for them on eBay. So when I found it, that was it. Oh my God. Actually, I have a video when I found it in the garbage. I'll have to put a link to it in the description box. Let me see. All right. Okay, so now we're down to the last few questions. Debbie wanted to know, do I have a weekly or a daily schedule for thrifting, YouTube, housework, Etsy, eBay, and D-Time? No, absolutely not. When I can get in a video, I do it. There is no rhyme or reason. I just, whenever. If I come home from thrifting, I like to do it like right after I come home because I have everything out. Normally, eBay and Etsy, I try to do my listings and stuff on the weekend because I could do it at my leisure. I could take pictures, take a break, do some laundry, then go back, do more. So that's usually a weekend thing. That's about as much of a schedule as I have. And D-Time is usually, I guess, when I get home from work. You know, if I do a thrift haul or whatever, and then I get comfortable and I go lay in my bed and watch my fellow YouTubers or whatever and just relax. Play some games on my iPad, and yep, that's my D-Time. Let's see. Kathy S. How did I quit smoking? I will be very glad to share that with you. I smoked for 40 years. 40 years. I never, ever thought I would be able to quit smoking. My father, God rest his soul, used to bug me, D, when you going to quit smoking? D, you got to quit smoking. Finally, you know, I had tried patches and everything, and they did work for me for the most part, except I was allergic to the adhesive. So I would break out with welts everywhere that I wore the patch. So I got a prescription from my doctor for Chantix. And I had this prescription sitting for a year because I was afraid to take it because, you know, you hear about all the side effects and stuff. So finally, I got to the point where, you know, every 2-3 times a year, I was getting sick, horribly sick, with a cold, and then it would immediately go into my chest. I couldn't breathe. I had to use inhalers and everything. And I finally got to where I said, you know what? This is ridiculous. So I decided to try taking the Chantix. Believe it or not, I really had no side effects. I had no crazy dreams, no suicidal thoughts, wasn't ready to kill anybody. Honestly, I really had no side effects. So I took the Chantix. Now they tell you, you know, you're only supposed to take it for a week and then stop smoking. I did not do that. I took the Chantix until I got down to 2 cigarettes a day. And then I stopped taking the Chantix and I used a vapor cigarette. And I haven't used a vapor cigarette in probably, well over a year. And I've been quit smoking, it was 2 years in May. So that is how I quit. And I wish my father could have been here to see me do it. But I know that he knows I did. But Would have been nice to have been able to do it while he was alive. Francis B, am I still dating my boyfriend? No, I am not. Charity wants to know, what is my civil status and what is my skincare routine? Well, let's do the skincare routine first because that'll be the quickest. I have no skincare routine. I just wash my face with whatever soap is in the shower. It doesn't matter. I just use bar soap on my face and that's it. I wash my face once in the morning when I take my shower and that's it. And believe it or not, it might sound gross, but half the time I don't even take my makeup off before I go to bed. I just sleep with my makeup on. My pillowcases are a mess, but I don't know. I never bothered to take my makeup off when I went to bed. So, it is what it is. Now, my civil status, I am divorced 3 times. Yes, 3 times. Call me Erica Kane. My first husband was from Canada. And he cheated on me, so we got divorced. My second husband, which is my children's father, I don't want to really go into detail, but I was with him for almost 9 years, and I divorced him. And my third husband did not get along with my children. And I was kind of stuck in the middle between him and my kids, and friction did not work, and my children come first. And so that's what happened with that one. Now I am single again, and I just prefer to stay that way right now. Going through menopause was a big part of it. Moody, irritable, yeah, was not good. Sorry, my daughter called. Yeah, so I'm by myself, and I'm quite content. I don't have to worry about being moody with anybody, or, you know, yeah. It's just not a good thing right now. So, I don't have to answer T. Dutton's because she asked, what's up with the boyfriend? Are we still together? Am I married? No, no, and no. So that is going to do it for this Q&A video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, I really have nothing to hide. You know, I'm boring. I am a boring person. I am a homebody. I spent many, many years out on the town partying, having a good time with all my friends, and I don't care to continue doing that. I'm 56 years old. I had enough, you know. I enjoy being home, doing my thrifting, craft projects, YouTube, and I'm good. So if you like this video, as always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will catch you in my next video. Bye, guys.